Soldering mistake number 10 is incorrect use of the solder. In order to obtain maximum performance from the solder, only use the tip of the inner cone flame with the proper length and placement on the center of the fitting. If the fitting is underheated or overheated, the solder will not flow properly into the joint. At no time should the outer flame or the inner cone flame ever come in direct contact with the solder and melt it. Applying the flame directly to the solder will not allow the solder to flow into the joint and properly bond the copper pipe and copper or brass fitting together. The best way to keep the flame from being in direct contact with the solder is to always keep the solder on the opposite side of the flame. The solder should only melt when it's in direct contact with the joint between the copper pipe and the fitting. It's also very important that the correct amount of solder is used. As shown on the left side of this picture, if too little solder is added to the joint, the solder will not fully fill the space between the pipe and the fitting. This will cause a weak connection that's prone to leaks. As shown on the right side of this picture, if too much solder is added to the joint, it will cause a buildup of solder inside the fitting. This buildup will cause turbulence as water flows past the solder. This can reduce water pressure, cause particle suspension, increase noise, and wear away the inside wall of the pipe and the fitting. The excess solder can also disrupt the capillary action, resulting in incomplete filling of the joint space. This will cause a weak connection that's prone to leaks. As a general guideline, to prevent from adding too little or too much solder to the joint, using 1/8 inch diameter solder, you should use a piece equal to the diameter of the pipe. So if the copper pipe being soldered is 1/2 inch, you should use approximately a 1/2 inch length of solder per joint. Here's how to prepare the solder on a piece of 1/2 inch copper pipe. Push the solder in against the inner wall until it stops, hold it down with your thumb, and then bend it 90 degrees. Now take and push it in again against the inner wall till it stops, hold it down again with your thumb, and bend it again 90 degrees. Now I have two marked lengths of 1/2 inch solder, which I can use on both ends of the fitting at the same time. A good solder joint should have a smooth, even bead of solder around the entire circumference of the joint like you see here. This 1 inch fitting was fed 1 inch of 1/8 inch diameter solder. The entire length of solder was fed into the same location on the opposite side of the flame. Another general guideline is if a droplet of solder starts to form on the joint while feeding in the solder, this indicates that the space between the pipe and the fitting has been completely filled and to stop feeding solder into the joint. I hope you found this helpful, and if you like this video, please hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and please be sure to subscribe. God bless you and have a great day. Bye for now. Okay, Sparky, wait.